into plank. Now, can I hold my plank? A little test you can do here is to just bend and straighten your elbows a little bit. Now, we're not going to go all the way down in plank because, again, we're working with somebody who's progressing from a beginner level. Hi gang, Denise here. Welcome to Drill of the Week. We're doing this series on drills that we can just drop into the yoga practice to start helping our students make progress. Because, I know the practice is just lovely to enjoy and, just almost like you would go dancing or something like that. But most of our students are hoping that their practice is going to improve the other activities that they do off the mat. And they're also hoping to make progress, within the practice. They want to be able to do their postures a little bit better. They want to feel stronger. They want to feel like they have mastery over their postures and over their body, at least to some degree. All right, so that's what these drills are about. And last week I showed you the beginning of a little group of drills called the tunnel. And I showed you a beginner tunnel. So I'm going to start off in the same position. Now this is to eventually get our students where they're comfortable, well supported, and using efficient joint mechanics for Chaturunga dandasana, upward facing dog to downward facing dog. Okay, but we have to start somewhere. And we want to start in positions that are not heavily loaded. Okay, so that's why we start in a table pose position. So if you're working with beginners or somebody who's trying or struggling to make progress, good place to start them, because this is where they can learn how to organize and activate the shoulders. Shoulders are ball and socket joints, and they need to be activated for a good, stable, efficient joint position with external activation. It's as though you're trying to dial your hands away from each other, but that energization, that activation of the muscles is sort of spinning the shoulder socket within the joint, okay? So we're gonna dial it out, and now we're progressing. So this time I'm gonna have you tuck your toes under and lift into plank position. So can I do that and keep my shoulders organized? If it didn't quite happen for you, dial it out, set the shoulders, lift the knees into plank. Now, can I hold my plank? A little test you can do here is to just bend and straighten your elbows a little bit. Now, we're not going to go all the way down in plank because, again, we're working with somebody who's progressing from a beginner level. So what we'll do is let the knees come down, keep the hips straight, heart comes forward. We keep dialing the hands away from each other, untuck the toes, take the little cobra, and tuck the toes. Keep dialing the hands away from each other as you lift the hips up into downward facing dog. So then the drill is the part that we repeat. So we come forward, see if we can maintain this dialing outward of the hands. That energy is coming through the arms to the shoulders. Let the knees come down, keep dialing it out, heart comes forward. The belly is engaged, lift the heart. This automatically helps the arms stay by the body, so you don't have to cue about that. Tuck back and up into downward facing dog. In downward facing dog, look at the difference in my shoulders. If I keep dialing my hands away from each other, can see how wide my shoulders are? But oftentimes what we see is students lifting their shoulder girdle out of their body and the shoulder joint coming close to the ears. So once again, if I'm dialing it out, it looks more like this. It's very stable, efficient, and I'm ready to move. So another drill you can do, just coming forward and back from plank to downward dog. Dialing the hands out the whole time. You have to maintain this activation. So let's take it all the way to plank, knees down. Keep dialing it out as the heart comes forward. Little cobra. Dial it out as you press back and take downward facing dog. So in my own classes, I'll probably do this 5 times or so. Even advanced people who are practicing are going to feel a little bit of a challenge. They'll welcome the opportunity to kind of prime their joints and muscles for the practice. And that's another great benefit of doing these little drill practices where you're repeating. So as I mentioned in the last video, we're trying to develop movement skill. Then we're trying to make it a habit, just how we move. We turn those things on. And then we'll eventually start challenging the position. So watch next week where we really start challenging that organization and activation at the shoulder with more body weight and more difficult positions. All right, hope you're enjoying this. I'll see you next week. Please comment below, ask questions, make requests, anything at all. This is the summer of yoga. Thanks for joining me, guys. Bye for now.